Hello and welcome to Yoga by Nature podcast. My name is Morven and I will be leading you through a 45-minute level 2 practice, which is aimed at yoga improvers. So this one coming up, it's not really suitable for beginners. So if you're looking for a beginner's practice, there are lots of other podcasts on this channel that you can choose that specifically say level 1. So this one's focused on forward bends. It's flowy. We're working up to Hanumanasana, which is the splits. But don't be scared. We do work up to it gently, and it's all optional. So you just see where your body wants to go today. So we're just putting things in place to just create the conditions for the opening of the hips that we want when we're moving into Hanumanasana. We do some lovely restful inversions at the end. We end up in plow pose as we go into Shavasana. And we have lots of fun on the way. You've got Ardha Chandrasana and variations of Ardha Chandrasana. And so, yeah, it's quite playful, fun practice. And so I hope you enjoy it. If you want to join us live for the Monday Level 2 class, it's Monday 7:15. You can come in person, you can book online, and you can also do it on catch-up. And if you would like to do a one-to-one with me anytime, I do one-to-ones. I'm working with people all around the world, one-to-one at the moment on Zoom. So thank you, Zoom, for offering us that option of going global. So yeah, get in touch if you want to do more. Hello and welcome. This is aimed at yoga improvers, and so it's a slightly more challenging class than your all levels class. We're going to start with a pranayama practice, but first you might want to get your props ready. I have a belt, blocks, or like this, bricks, or books or something like that. And I've also got a block for sitting on, which is important because it's forward bends today. Let's start with some pranayama. So if you come and take a comfortable seat, sitting up tall so the lungs can breathe really well, and just have their hands resting lightly somewhere on the thighs so that the shoulders can dangle and rest. And then soften the features of the face and begin to turn your awareness inside, allowing the eyes to gently close if that's comfortable for you. And beginning to tune into your breath. Notice if you can hear your breath. And if there's no sound to your breath, how can you sense your breath? Does it have a certain sensation? Is there a movement of the body that you can feel when you breathe? And now make a pranayama mudra with your right hand. So you're going to take the first two fingers of the hand and curl them into the palm. So you have your thumb, pinky finger and ring finger extended. And then take a full inhale through both nostrils. And then close your right nostril and exhale through your left. And then inhale left. Close your left nostril and exhale through your right. Inhale right. And if you like, you can go at your own pace if you know this practice well. And then close the right nostril and exhale through the left one. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. One more round. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Come right to the end of the exhale And then release your hand to rest back onto your thigh. Just take a few conscious breaths here with your eyes closed if that's comfortable for you. Again, just observing the flow of the breath. Notice if any changes have taken place already in the quality of your awareness and the state of your consciousness. And then take a slightly deeper breath in through the nose. And take a long exhale through the mouth. And let the weight of the exhale drop all the way down into the base of the body. And let's begin our asana practice now. So you have a few different options here. You can, if it's comfortable for you, take your left leg and move it round so you're sitting in half Virasana on the left side, and then the right leg will reach out in front. Okay, so I'm not mirroring you today. If this doesn't suit you, then you can bend the left knee in and the sole of the foot can rest on the inner thigh instead. Okay, so they're your options. And now we're going to bend the right knee, take hold of the right foot with the hands, and then see if you can lift it up away from the ground. If that's not happening, and that can be because of the proportions of your body, if you've got longer legs, it might not work so well. Then you can have your belt and use a belt as an extension of the arms. Okay? So we're going to press the right leg towards straight, pressing the heel away from you and rolling the right hip back. And if you're feeling stiff today like I am, then you could bend and straighten that right leg a few times. And then try and bring a length into your spine. So the back of the spine is sort of moving forward towards the front of the spine, bringing the chest closer towards the leg. Okay, and then release the right leg down. Let's do the same on the other side. So we're going to move that, let's release the left leg first and move the right leg around, or take your half Hanumanasana with the sole of the foot on the inner thigh, and then bring the left knee in towards the chest. If you can reach, take hold of the foot. Do use your belt if it makes it easier. And then we're going to press that left leg towards straight. And as you do that, keep lifting the breastbone, establishing the length from the pelvic floor all the way up to the soft pallets, extending in both directions. And again, if it feels good here, bending and straightening a few times. Don't forget to breathe. And then drawing the leg in towards the body if it's ready to go. So let's release the left leg. Take the legs wide now, out to the sides. They don't have to go super wide. That's really not the point of this one. All we're looking for is a lengthening along the inner thighs and the groin area. So placing the hands in front of you, walk the hands over towards the left, little twist towards the left thigh, and then walking the hands over towards the right, and then a little twist. And you could explore the forward bend here if you wish to, if your body's ready. Starting to fold in. Oh, sorry, something just fell off my shelf. And then over to the other side. Nothing breakable, thankfully. And then coming back to center, and we'll come and sit up tall. So gather the legs back in towards the midline, and then let's come to all fours, hands and knees. And we're going to move all the way back into downward facing dog now. So walk the knees a little way behind the hips, tuck the toes under, sink the hands down into the ground. So make the hands really heavy, really feel the full imprint of the hand on the earth, and then float the hips up and back. And then if it feels okay for you, you can start to pedal your feet. And really exploring the length along the back of the leg, but also along the whole back line of the body. So the crown and the back of the skull sort of drop down away from the sacrum. And the tailbone lifts up towards the sky. And then coming into your full expression of down dog, and then we'll step the feet close together and then take an inhale, raise the right leg, and as you exhale, draw the knee in towards the chest and curl forward. Inhaling, we'll press back and up, and then exhale to curl in. Let's do that one more time. Curling in, and this time we're going to touch the knee to the upper right arm, resting it there as if it were resting on a ledge, and then step the right foot in between the hands. And here you might need your blocks to make the ground a bit higher. And we'll press the right leg towards straight, lift the chest, and then exhale, fold in. So we're coming into a pyramid pose, flow, inhaling, lifting the chest, and exhaling to fold in. And if you're comfortable with Ujjayi breath, you can do your Ujjayi breath here. And then let's hold it here for a moment. You can continue to use your blocks if they're helpful for you. And keep the back leg raised. So the back heel is raised, but also the left femur bone is lifting high as you fold in towards the front thigh. And then bring the back knee to the ground. Walk the hands back and bring the right leg towards straight. Roll the right hip back. And then let's go forward again to our low lunge. So we'll alternate between these two poses, giving the body some sort of repetition in flow, so that we can really start to bring about that elastic quality of the fascia, the connective tissue, which can get a little bit stuck and dry if we stay still for too long. Let's do that once more time. Once more time. It is very early in the morning for me right now. One more time, and then we'll fold in towards that straightish leg into our runner's lunge. And if you want to make this pose deeper, you're going to roll the right hip back, dig the right heel into the ground, and then sort of draw that right sitting bone back in space. And then let's come forward again. Place the hands ready for plank, and then we'll tuck the back toes. Take a step back into plank pose, and then slowly lower however you get there. And then we'll come forward and up. Cobra or upward facing dog, and then all the way back into downward facing dog, and we'll do it all on the other side. So let's step the feet quite close together. Raise the left leg, take an inhale, and then exhale, draw the knee into the chest. Inhale, coming back and up. Exhale, drawing in. So one more of these in your own time. And then we'll bring the left knee to the upper arm and step the left foot in between the hands. Bring the left leg towards straight, rolling the left hip back, and then inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, flow forward. 3 times. And folding into your full forward fold, establishing engagement around the whole circumference of that left thigh and rolling the left thigh back in space as you fold in. And then bring the back knee all the way down to the ground, and we'll work through our runner's lunge. So alternating between these two poses, low lunge and a runner's lunge. And then let's stay in the runner's lunge for a few breaths here, drawing the left toes back towards the shin, rolling the left hip back in space, and also lifting the sitting bone high as you fold in. But what we're more interested in here is the length along the spine. So only fold in if you've established that the reach in the breastbone and length along the spine. So avoid sort of rounding the back to go into this pose. And then walking the hands forwards. Drop into your low lunge for a moment, and then tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and then we'll step the right foot forward and fold into standing forward bend. Again, you can use your blocks if they're helpful, and if you can easily reach the ground, then keep a little bend in the knees anyway. I know my knees probably don't look bent, but they are a little bit micro bent, so I can feel that the backs of the knees are broad, and then the sitting bones can continue to lift. Like you're lifting your hamstrings up out of the backs of the knees. Inhale, look forward halfway. Exhale, drop into your forward fold. Inhale. And exhale, fold in. Interlace the hands behind you, lift the knuckles high up towards the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then coming up, we're going to lift the toes, drive the heels down into the ground, rise all the way up to standing, and find Tadasana with the arms resting at the sides. So allowing the weight of the pelvis to drop down through the feet so that the toes are relaxed. Broaden across the collarbones, find the length along the back line of the body so that the back of the skull is lifting up away from the heels, and then bring your hands to rest at your hearts. Take an inhale to reach the arms up. Exhale, bend the knees, come into chair pose. The sitting bones move back and the back of the heart lifts up. Keep lifting the arms. And then folding in, standing forward bend. Look forward halfway. Lightly step all the way back into plank or half plank. And then slowly lower yourself down to the ground. Come forward and up, cobra or upward facing dog. And then unfold all the way back into down dog. Either jump or step, come all the way up to the top of the mat and look forward halfway. Exhaling, folding into your forward fold, and then on the inhale, rise. We'll come all the way up to standing. Exhaling, hands to the heart. Let's flow straight through to number 2, sun salutation. Inhaling to reach up. Exhaling, folding in. Inhale, look forward. Exhaling all the way back to plank, and then slowly lower. Inhaling, upward facing or cobra, and then exhaling, down dog. Breathe. Find more space in the pose. Can the hands broaden? Can the shoulders broaden more? And let the head hang to the ground. Either jump or step. Come to the top of your mat. Take an inhale, look forward, and then exhale, fold. Inhaling to rise, we'll come all the way up to standing, reaching up high, and then exhaling, the hands come to rest at the heart. We'll take one full breath here. Great, so we're going to step the left foot back. And here you might want to have a brick handy, so it would sit about 10 inches diagonally away from your right foot. And let's take a wide stance on the mat, so we're facing the long edge of the mat. Turn the left toes just slightly in. And then open the arms wide, make yourself as big as you can. And then we're going to go over towards the right for Trikonasana. So placing the right fingertips somewhere on the leg. And then let's take the left arm up and over. And then with an inhale, We're going to come all the way back to reverse triangle. So lifting the right waist up out of the belly and then exhaling up and over again. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do that one more time. And holding it here just for a few breaths, turning the belly away from the right thigh. And then take a bend in the right knee, place the right hand onto a block, and then we'll lightly step in and up. Come to half moon pose. So rolling that right hip back, and then lengthen down along the tailbone, extend right out to the heels. Maybe turn the head so you're looking up towards the ceiling if you've got your balance. You can either stay here, or if you wish to, you can bend the left knee, take hold of the top of the foot. You might want to look down to do this so you don't wobble too much. And then come to Ardha Chandra Chapasana, which is like dancer pose, but in half moon pose. So you're moving that left knee back and then curling back in space. One more breath. And then folding in. So release the left leg. Keep the leg raised though, as you fold forward, placing the hands towards the ground. Fold in towards the standing leg and lift the standing leg high as you fold in the toppling tree. And here you have the option of holding onto the right ankle with one hand, maybe both hands. Bending the knee might help, so you can find the core engagement through the pelvic floor, the lower abdominals. Just play with it. And then placing the hands. Let's take a step back into down dog. You can either stay here or rest in child's pose, or if you like to, you can come through a vinyasa. So moving to plank, lowering yourself down, and then coming forward and up. All the way back now into down dog. And let's take a breath. Step your left foot in between your hands, spin the right heel to the ground, and then we'll windmill all the way up. Ready to go to triangle pose. I'm going to turn around so I can see you. Left toes are turning out, right toes are slightly turning in, and then as you exhale, let's come over and then place the left fingertips, the right arm comes up and over the ear, and then inhaling, coming all the way back, exhaling. Keep going. The next time we're going to hold it. Hold it there. Root the outer right heel really firmly into the ground and then reach all the way up to the tips of the fingers on the right hand. Turn the belly away from the left thigh. And then bring the right hand to the hip, take a bend in the left knee. Come into half moon pose on the left side. Grab a block if you find that helpful. You're rolling the right hip back, pressing the standing leg towards straight and opening out across the heart. Either stay here or take hold of your right foot with your right hand and begin to press the knee back, curling back from the back of the heart. So you're moving into Ardha Chandra Chapasana. Kick the foot into the hand. And then release the right foot. Fold in towards the standing leg for a standing split. And then here, again, you could play around with holding the ankle with one hand.
maybe both hands. You'll need your core strength. So aligning to the pelvic floor, which is engaged. The lower abdominals are working quite strongly here. Extend forward through the soft palates. And then take a big step back. Oh, sorry, place the hands and then take a big step back with the right foot. And then either take a rest here or you can move through a Vinyasa. And your Vinyasa is plank, Chaturanga or knees, chest and chin. Back bend of choice. And then all the way back to down dog. And just take a moment to enjoy your breath in down dog. Okay, so we're going to move to a wide stance. So one foot can step forward and then we'll parallel the feet and move into a wide-legged forward bend. So let's come right up onto fingertips. So you've just got a very light touch of the fingers on the ground and engage the thighs really well. Lift the chest and then fold in. Walk the hands forward, and now you're doing down dog in your upper body. The space in between the shoulder blades is hollowing out, but the shoulder blades are still broad. And then we're going to take the right arm underneath the left, and then either hold on to the shin, the thigh, or if you can reach the ankle, then take hold of the ankle and twist underneath that left armpit. So you're turning to look underneath the left armpit. Broaden the inner thighs. So the inner thighs move away from each other. And then hold on to that left ankle with both hands, fold in towards the left thigh. And let's go to the other side. So walking the hands forward. And then the left arm threads underneath the right. We'll take hold of the outer ankle. Strong legs, roll the thighs in and broaden them apart. And then we're going to take hold of the right ankle with both hands, fold in towards the right leg. Keep moving the left hip towards the left. And then take a bend in the right knee, place the hands up towards the top of the mat. We're going to pivot the feet so they're looking forward and then step the right foot forward to meet the left. Fold into Uttanasana, standing forward bend. So you can have the hands on the legs somewhere, you can have your hands resting on the ground. If you want a deeper stretch here, you can wrap your arms behind your calves and you can use your arms to sort of lever the body in towards the thighs. Bring the hands to the hips, wing the elbows right back and then rise up, lengthening the belly, the breastbone forward, roof of the mouth forward, come all the way up to standing. Okay, so let's do our balance. Okay, you may want to use a belt. So we're going to come and stand on the left foot, pour the weight into the left side of the body, draw the right knee in, and you can either hold on to the outer edge of the right foot with the right hand, or you can catch the foot in the belt, and then we're going to bring the leg, whoops, moved too quickly there. You can bring the leg towards straight. Press the feet away from each other. Come and stand really nice and tall. So from here, we're going to go into a twist. So you're going to take hold of your right foot with your left hand, bring your right hand to your hip, and then twist towards the right. So the belly lifts up and over that right thigh, And then you're going to spiral that twist all the way out to the right fingertips, which are reaching back behind you. And then maybe turn, so you're looking over your right shoulder. Find room for the breath. And then untwist, the same way you came back into the pose. Okay, let's do the other side. So standing on the right foot this time, draw the left knee in, hold onto the foot any way you can, and then aim to bring that standing leg to straight, and we'll straighten out that left leg. Keep dropping the left hip down away from the left shoulder. Take hold of your left foot with your right hand, reach the right arm behind you, and then twist. So you're leading the twist at the belly, ribs and chest turn, and then you can turn to look over your left fingertips. And then coming out of the pose the same way you came in. Great. So let's take a step back up to the top of the mat. Bring the hands to the heart. Take an inhale and reach the arms up towards the sky. And then exhale, fold in. So you're hinging at the hips, and take a little softness in the knees, even if you can straighten your legs. Step your right foot to the back of the mat and bring your back knee down to the ground. And let the hips drop towards the ground. Climb up onto your left knee. We're going into a thigh stretch now. So bend the right knee, or reach around and take hold of the top of the right foot. And then start to draw the right foot towards the outer right heel. You can always catch the foot in a belt if you need to, or you can lift the right knee by placing it up on a block. Maybe raise the left arm if that's available to you. And then release. Let's step back to down dog. And then we're going to step the right foot forward and bring the back knee to the ground. So finding the lunge first, and then climb up onto the front knee. Do pad the back knee if you need to, and also you can lift it up on a block if your foot feels far away. That will bring your foot closer to your hand. And then dropping forward as you draw the heel towards the outer hip. And then maybe here, raising the right arm. And let's release. So take a moment here in child's pose. Sinking the hips back onto the heels. The arms can reach forward, or they can wrap around the sides. I'm going to go into a pose called Hanumanasana now. So let's come up to all fours. Step the right foot forward, and then start to move the left knee back. And then we're going to go back to that runner's lunge. So drawing the hips back in space, rocking the hips side to side. So this might be enough for you, or if you feel like you can do more, you can slide the right foot forward and you can start to walk the left knee back. Keep moving the hips side to side as you start to sort of inch the pelvis towards the ground, only if it's ready to go. And Hanumanasana is another word for the splits. It's named for Hanuman, the monkey god, who took these huge leaps over India. He would cover huge swathes of India in just one leap, and this is meant to be sort of emblematic of Hanuman's leap. do the other side. So we'll circle the right foot back, left foot forwards, and then go into your lunge first, and then maybe start to edge the left foot forward. Oh, sorry, yeah, we're going to a runner's lunge, folding in. This side will probably feel different from the other side, and then only if it feels okay for you, and start to slide that left heel forward, right heel back. It's a big stretch, so it's a big stretch for the hamstrings, but also for the hip flexors. So on that right leg, you're getting a deep stretch in the right hip, as well as a deep stretch along the back of the body on the left side. And then circling the left foot back. And let's come to kneel. So we're going to come and kneel so the knees are about hip distance apart. Bring the hands to rest on the back of the pelvis, and then lift the heart. So we've got this sort of kinetic wave moving through the body as you press the knees down. That little bounce that comes all the way up through the chest into the crown of the head. So we can start to move back towards Ustrasana, camel pose. So the back of the heart moves back and the hips start to move forward. You could have your toes tucked under here to bring your heels closer to your hands. And only let go of the pelvis if it feels safe in your back. If you're really happy here, as you curl back, you can place the hands onto the heels and let the head drop back if that feels good to you. And to come out of the pose, bring the hands to your lower back, or the back of the pelvis, and then support yourself to come all the way up. And then pitching forward, place the hands to the ground, sit back onto the heels, and swing the legs out in front. And we're going to come into a pose called Janisha Sasana, which is our forward bend. So let's take the left foot and place it on the inner right thigh. The right leg's extended out in front. And do take a block if a block helps you in a forward bend, so the pelvis can tip forward more easily. Let's take an inhale to lift the chest. Exhale, folding in towards the right leg. You're turning as if you're kind of dialing the rib cage around towards the right. Folding in. And if you like to use a belt, you can. Belts aren't that helpful in forward bends except to create retraction through the spine and allow the pelvis to tip forward if it's not tipping forward easily already. One more long breath here. Inhale, rise all the way up to seated. Let's go to side two. Turning the body towards the left thigh, and then taking the inhale to lift the chest, and then exhale to fold in. And keep widening the right knee to the right as you dial the rib cage around towards the left thigh. With an inhale, rising all the way up to seated, and then extend the right leg out in front. We're going to come into a full forward bend. So the legs are in front, the backs of the thighs are descending towards the ground, the crown is lifting away from the tailbone, and then we'll start to tip forward. And again, if your pelvis feels like it's tipping back instead of forward, just come and sit up onto a block. And just allowing gravity to bring you forward. You can just bring a little length along the spine so the breastbone extends away from the pubic bone. Long breath. You can use the inhales just to peel forward here, and then the exhales to fold in. Two more breaths. With an inhale, rise, leading with the chest, coming all the way up to seated, and then scooting forward. So you're sitting round about the middle of the mat, and then come to lie on your back. Bring the knees into the chest and have the arms alongside the body. So the palms are facing down, and then press the heels up towards the sky. You can either stay here or move all the way up into your shoulder stand. So holding the backs of the hips with the hands, and sort of walking the shoulder blades towards each other behind the back. If you want to readjust, you can bring your knees to rest down towards the forehead, so you can move the elbows closer together. And then maybe here you can move towards plow, so bringing the feet down to rest, either hovering above the ground or all the way down onto the ground. Release the hands. My mic's getting all tangled up in my chin. I'm going to come out of the pose now, so rolling the spine down along the ground. Bring the heels to the ground, just for a breath or two. Float up into bridge. Slowly lower, and then we'll open the arms wide. Allow both of your knees to drop down to one side. And then let both of the knees drop down to the other side. Supine twist. Just beginning to bring your awareness inward now. And then we'll bring the knees back to the centre. If there's another pose you like to do, then go ahead. Maybe tuck the knees into the chest. If you like happy baby, you could do a happy baby here. And then let's move to Shavasana when you're ready to. So extending the legs down along the length of the mat, or take your preferred relaxation pose, which might be something completely different, like lying on your side. Allow the toes to roll out to the sides. Have the palms facing up. Allow the weight of the arms and the legs to drop into the ground and away from the body, making space around the hip joint, shoulder joints. And allow the back of the waist to soften back to the earth. The muscles of the face to relax. go of anything you are still carrying with you that you no longer need. Allow yourself to be carried by the strength of the earth beneath you. Please stay in Shavasana for as long as you wish to. If it's time for you to move on now with the rest of your day, then just making the gentle movements that feel right for you. Just slowly bring yourself over onto one side and with great care, rising all the way up to seated. And we'll formally close this practice now. Namaste.